Hi, everybody. It's me, Laura Beth Colbert, DelusionDispeller. And I think I have my camera upside down, so give me a minute while I flip this around, rotating the device. I never can tell which end is up on this thing, but I guess this might be. Alright, so we'll go with this. So, anyhow, I am out of my surgery. Oh, this crazy thing. Oh, there we go. I'm out of my surgery. Way out of my surgery, actually. As of this afternoon. It's almost 7:30 here, so I'm just recovering. I'm in bed right now. This is my new bed that my daughter surprised me with. Well, I was getting ready to have the surgery. She said, "Mom, I got a surprise for you when you get home." She was supposed to keep it a surprise, but my daughter's not real good at that sometimes. She said, "We got you a bed to go home and recover in a bed." And here's Mimi. She's taking good care of me since I got home. I know, baby. I'm okay. Anyhow, I survived the surgery, thankfully. And I'm glad to be home. I'm just now starting to feel a little bit more like myself. I'm pretty sick to my stomach for hours after the procedure, and also major headache. I'm starting to feel a little better in the head too, but that is one thing I will warn you about. Anesthesia, although the anesthesia was not bad, it literally was just like going to sleep and waking up pretty much. They have your arms stretched out to the side, and they kind of put blankets around you and then strap your arms down. And if you're not scared about that, the rest is pretty much a breeze. They took these two little things and stuck them in my nose with a tube instead of the mask. I told them I'm claustrophobic, do not use that mask on me until you have me well out. So they appreciated me telling them that, and they complied. I didn't have to go through having the mask on my mouth, which was good. So just the two little things up my nose, and then you feel this really hot sensation going up your nose, almost like Vicks, but it doesn't smell like Vicks. It's really powerful stuff, which makes me think that they also gave me an inhalation anesthesia through that tube in my nose, which was fine. That was peachy. And then, of course, I had my IV after 3 miserable tries of trying to get the IV in. They finally had the anesthesiologist do my IV. He got it in the first time with extremely little pain compared to the other 3 times. And once they get that on, then they put the ball into the IV. And what that feels like, if anybody hasn't had propofol, let me explain it to you. Because I never knew. I mean, I'm sure I had it back when I had my kidney stent done, but that was like years ago. So, I wasn't making videos back then, I don't think. So I didn't really process how it all went to describe it. And I want to describe it because I go back and my own YouTube videos to refresh my own memory. So you're laying there like with your arms outstretched, straps over your arms. The nurse was kind of like taking my arm and just lightly rubbing her fingers on it because get to my arms because they were all covered up. So I felt the sensation of her rubbing my arm. I felt like if you've ever had morphine, you know that rush that comes over you, like everything just gets super weird feeling like you've crossed over into a different realm. I got that feeling. And usually, like when I'm going to stay awake and I'm not getting put out, they leave you awake for that. And for me, that causes a panic attack. It makes me feel like I'm dying, like my heart is about to stop, and it's just an intense panicky feeling. The cool thing about anesthesia is it's a very similar thing to that, and they may have even given me morphine, I don't know. But it's the same feeling, that rush feeling, that out of breath feeling, the feeling like your throat's up. But as soon as you get ready to panic, you're already waking up from this procedure. Literally that fast. I'm not saying the procedure was that fast, because it's not. I don't even know how long it lasted, maybe 15, I'm not sure. But, yeah, so first they said, well, we're going to give you something to relax you in your IV, and they did, plus that stuff in my nose, which I'm guessing now might have been oxygen, for all I know. You know, they could have gone with that instead of the mask because of the claustrophobia problem, which would make total sense. Anyway, I haven't had a chance to ask all my questions to the doctor. What's interesting is I had a whole bunch of questions to ask him down, And I brought the wrong place where I wrote it. Like, I have 2 journals. I brought the wrong journal, so I couldn't ask him any of my questions. I just had to trust. I had to pray, faith, and just trust that he was good. And he was super excellent. All were. They all fantastic staff. Better than, I could imagine, except for one lady in particular. I don't know her name. I want to know her name. Because I would have to not like her and not want to see her. Because she's very cold-hearted, as far as I was concerned. Didn't laugh at my jokes, didn't have bedside manner, just was very mechanical, and I didn't appreciate that at all. She could have been nicer. So, it's her name, because I probably have to report her, and I do enough of that. Alright, so anyhow, hi Nisa. See who came back to see me again? She's all concerned about me. Animals are so sensitive. So yeah, anyway, so you get that rush over you, and you're just a little bit kind of tired, like when you go to bed at night and you're exhausted, that kind of feeling. And then the doctor said, that's not the medicine that's going to make you go to sleep. That's just something to relax you. Now here comes the medicine to make you sleepy. You're going to fade out, something like that. And the next thing I knew, they were saying, "Can your eyes? Are you trying to open your eyes?" And I'm like, yeah. And I was like, it's kind of weird because this time I was super wide awake quick. I mean, I was a little woozy still, but I was coming to pretty well. And she just trying to open your eyes, and then she'd be like, "You can sleep a little while now." And okay, I see your eyes are open again. Try to keep them open. Now I'm gonna sit you up. So she sat up. And by that time, I was focusing a lot better, and stuff. And nothing was really blurry. I had my glasses on when they wheeled me out. I didn't have any tube down my throat when they wheeled me out. Great. So, fantastic. I mean, they made me extremely comfortable through the whole procedure. The part that's not comfortable is when you get home and the medicine wears off. And they didn't give me any pain, just told me to take ibuprofen. So I will be doing that again, actually, right about now. It's probably about time to take one. So I will go and do that, but I wanted to update you a bit more about the procedure. I encourage anybody here that is having a hysteroscopy DNC or anything like that, where they tell you they're going to sedate you, whether it's general anesthesia or like they did with me, heavy anesthesia is what it's called. Ask me questions if you're concerned. It's very much, what's the word? It's very much present and clear in my mind to talk to you and tell you how it was. So now fire the questions at me and we'll talk. Alright, well, this was a live broadcast and nobody really popped in or stayed very long. I think one person. But you can watch it later and see what I had to say. Alright. So far, since I've been home, I was laying on 2 mattresses in the other room because our bed hadn't arrived yet, our platform bed. Now we have our platform bed, so I'm in my bed. And my husband just baked potato with butter, borrowed from the neighbors. And also, I am eating a peanut butter bread sandwich type thingy. It's just peanut butter and bread. Of course, I'm making a mess, and I'm drinking some water. And I figured as soon as I was eating one, that means I'm feeling a lot better, and I am feeling better. Hospital, they only gave me crackers and a small thing of Sprite or 7-Up or something. I didn't even drink it all. I wasn't really interested in drinking anything at the time. So, I'm back home now, and glad that all of you have been standing by me and praying for me and keeping me in your thoughts. I survived it. I'm here to tell about it, and I'm very happy. I'm happy that it's over, and at the same time, I know I have a colonoscopy coming up next. That's not till quite a ways away. My next appointment to meet with the gastro person is in October 8th at 3:45. And from there, they will schedule the colonoscopy, and I get to drink all that yucky stuff and clean out my colon, and then they go in with a scope and do what they need to do, hoping that I am as much out of it for that as I was. But I was told it's a lighter sedation, so you are conscious, you probably know what's going on, but you don't feel a whole lot and you don't remember it. So we'll see how that all goes down. I don't know. Not looking forward to that any more than I was looking forward to this. But I'm sure it's like everything else. The aftermath is usually worse, or the prep is worse. So, and he survived to tell these stories, right? Okay. And I wanted to say one thing. My prayers go out to the Watts families, relatives. Shan Watts was killed, and her precious little girls, allegedly by her husband, which is just appalling to me on so many levels. But looking at his eyes, I could kind of tell that he was not up. Plus, she met him from a dating service, although I met all three of my husbands on dating services. For whatever reason, she met somebody that was allegedly not a safe person, a very toxic person, cruel, obviously. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because she apparently had some health problems, and he was there for her during her colonoscopy, believe it or not. And he was like the biggest support to her and to the kid with his children, and raised those babies, and then kills them. I mean, unthinkable. But Shanann Watts' family, I don't know what your names are or whatever, but my heart goes out to you. And in this video, to Shanann and Bella, and sad for your losses, and there's no word to even comfort your hearts. I know that. Such a tragedy. But I'm just so sorry. That's all I know to say. On that note, I'm going to close here. It's just sad that, survived a colonoscopy. She survived a lot of health issues. Her life was starting to be very rewarding to her, and she was enjoying her girls. She loved her girls, and it's just such a sad, awful thing. And there's just no words to say other than that, other than I'm sorry. So from my heart to yours, this is dedicated to Shanann and Bella and her sister, for your painful end and your family's tragic loss. So be blessed, everybody. I'm sorry to end on that sad note, but I had to say something because precious, precious people are lost to us of a man's alleged cruel mind. And I do think he did it. Just for the record, I do. And I think you're going to find out in time that that is the case, sadly. Anyhow, I'm going to close with the face right here, if you can see her. She's just adorable. My beautiful kitty. She's so close to me. She's so concerned about me, looking over me. Oh, I love my kitty. I love our pets. Give your kitty a kiss and a hug for me, and we'll talk to you next time. Again, everybody, for all your kindness. Bye for now.